everybody, and welcome to Wisconsin Whitetails Outdoors. My name's Larry Bogus, and this is the 2014 hunting recap. We've had a lot of highs and a lot of lows, so join me as we get started on this adventure. Our first season, which was the second season of the spring turkey hunt, started off kind of strange. We got up in the morning and we were getting ready to head out, and for some strange reason I couldn't find my turkey tags.
We lost our turkey tags, so we have gone to 3 stores, and finally on the 3rd try we were able to get copies of our turkey tags so we can start. Well, now we've got rain, horrible rain. So I don't even know when or if today we're going to be able to get out, but hopefully we will.
We had a little bit of a break in the weather, but unfortunately no turkeys ever showed up. So now we're on to the 6th and final season of the 2014 spring turkey hunt. However, same as the first season that we were out hunting, we never got a turkey to come in. In fact, we never even heard one. My brother also leased out his cropland, and they put corn in. There was one tree behind my brother's barn that overlooked the entire cornfield. And my dad suggested, why don't we just put a stand up? So that's what we did. And a few weeks before the 2014 bow season began, we got out there and we put the stand up. The only time we ever saw deer in that stand was one night just before the legal shooting light was done over. The neighbors had about 6 does come in and feed, and I got some footage of that. However, they never presented a shot. They never came over onto our side.
To have them come over here.
Taking that into consideration, I decided that maybe, just maybe, if I set up a little closer to where those deer were at, maybe I would get a shot at something coming across. So what we did was we decided to put a blind up about 75 yards from the road, overlooking the neighbor's cornfield. So in case anything did show up, we could possibly get a shot. I set up my decoy, hoping that maybe we could get a buck enticed. We set up some deer scent and some lure, and hopefully, you never know. Nothing came in that night, and we never saw any other deer in that stand. My son and I suited up after work and after school, and he went with me and he ran the camera. And once again, I just enjoyed being out there with him. He had some fun doing some shooting and learning all the ins and outs of filming, and even though we never saw any deer, we had a good time.
Back out at the public land here in New Auburn. I got my cameraman with me.
with the 2014 bow season well underway, we had to try and figure out what our next move was in getting closer to the rut. I had some time off scheduled from work where I thought, and I've always had good luck, and that was the 2 weekends before gun season started. The first weekend I decided I was going to hunt the public land out by my mom and dad's place.
There's a nice big chunk of public land here. I'm huddled in kind of close to the road. There's a cornfield over here, and then the road's right here. I got a nice clearing. I don't know much about this area. I'm going in cold turkey. Maybe I shouldn't do that, but it's worth a shot. So we're going to sit for a couple hours and see if we can get something to come through.
However, we never got a shot, and we never even saw a deer during that weekend. This last weekend, we ended up getting quite a bit of snow. It was a substantial amount, especially up north, where I was going to be decided to do my hunting at.
It's super cold. It's very, very, very cold out here.
But we had a doe come in after I blew a grunt. I just kind of blew a grunt a little bit, and I heard something, and a doe come running in, and she was just getting pushed. Her tongue was hanging out. She was exhausted. And right on its tracks, there was a little spike buck. Now, experience has told me that typically, when there's one, there's not one far behind. And sure enough, about 2 minutes later, a big old 9-pointer come running through. But he wasn't stopping for nothing. He was hot on that doe, and it was just a great experience and a great encounter, and I was happy to get to see it finally and get a little action from the deer stand. So the next morning, we got up early, and we headed out to that same stand that we were in the evening before, where I saw the nice buck, thinking maybe, just maybe, it would still be in the area. We got out there, and this is a story, and I want to just take a time out and say this is a story that I know some people would find hard to believe. And even I would if it hadn't happened to me. So I'm going to let you make your own decisions on this, but what I'm about to tell you is 100% true, and I wish I could have gotten it on film. We decided to walk out, and we were going to go back out into the wooded area where we went our original morning, where all the deer tracks were. And we crossed the fence, and we started walking along the fence line when something caught my eye, and it was just a brief brown patch. But before I even got out in the woods, I noticed off in the corner, up by a tree on a little bit of a hill, there was a deer bedded down, and it hadn't saw me. Now this whole thing transpired with my GoPro on my bow and my camera in my hand and in my pocket. I really didn't have a plan for what I was going to do and how I was going to stalk this deer. But what I had decided to go with was just get on my knees and inch my way through the snow until I was able to get close enough for a possible shot. of hours, I was on my knees, crawling, inching my way up to this doe. And finally, we were able to get within 8 yards. We crawled 8 yards to this doe. So finally I was able to move my leg just enough, and I pulled back and I let one fly, and we were able to finally fill our doe tag for the 2014 season. The 2015 hunting season is approaching at a fast pace. We're looking forward to getting out there for the 2015 spring turkey hunt. Make sure you stay tuned, because we're going to be out there, and hopefully we got some adventures to share with you. Thank you everybody for watching. Once again, I'm Larry Bogus, and this is Wisconsin Whitetails Outdoors. Thanks for watching.